Tiger fans, our final pick of the draft for 2024 has occurred tonight. With the first pick of the second round, we have selected Thomassims, 199cm ruck/forward from the Northern Knights. Now, a few people thought we may have traded this pick out, including myself, but we have opted to take a player. Now, I have seen that this has divided a lot of people, but I want to make it very clear that you've got to understand this was a static pick. And by that I mean that the Blair Hartley and team had 24 hours to sit on this, to think about all possible options, all scenarios, take all phone calls, and then make an informed decision. This wasn't a live dynamic pick where someone might have taken a play before us and we only had 5 minutes on the clock and had to rush a pick through. So I think we need to make sure we all understand this has been a very considered and very deliberate pick by Blair and co. So like I said, I know a lot of people have been divided because people are saying Shanahan was still there and Dodson was still there, who were maybe very good at forward and rucking respectively. But they've obviously gone Thomassims because he can maybe do a bit of both, and they obviously see something in him that they didn't in the others, and I think we are probably wise to back in their judgment. But looking at some of Sims' stats and information here, he started off the season very strongly with a 5-goal haul in the Coates League and followed up a few weeks later with a 7-goal haul against Oakley Chargers. He has played, obviously, ruck and forward, and there's definitely been times throughout his Coates season where he has shouldered the ruck load by himself. So he can go down that path if needed as well. And he played a big role for Parade in the Herald Sun Shield final as well. So he's played quite a bit of footy this year, and that's how he's kind of shot up the ranks, I guess. Looking at his strengths: athleticism, creativity, leading patterns, marking, physicality, versatility, improvements, scoreboard consistency, and set shot goal kicking. So I think one of the knocks, even looking at these highlights here, that he did miss some easy gettable shots. All players do it, it's not the end of the world, but that's what coaches are for, to help improve that part of the game. So maybe someone like Harry Armstrong, who's been taught by Matty Lloyd, could pass on a few tips and tricks and help his new teammate out, who knows. But I think the most important thing as well for Sims is at the Combine recently, he tested very, very well for vertical jump and agility, which is a nice one to have up your sleeve. So the fact that he's actually a mobile big man, it's kind of the way the game's going. I think we're moving past the days of a lumbering ruckman, if you want to call it that. But he is the same height as Nankervis. Obviously not as big a built as what Nank is currently. But I don't want to make this as a direct comparison, but I couldn't help but feel some very mild Tim English vibes. You know, someone who can drift forward and kick goals. Someone who is a very good mark, looking at these highlights as well, and can also do some ruck work as well, and is a pretty neat kick by foot. So he does have a few tricks up his sleeve. Not a bad selection looking at this. And like I said, it's obviously a very deliberate selection. They've had 24 hours to sit on this and make a call on it. So it wasn't a reaction, an knee-jerk reaction or a dynamic pick. So I think this one, whether people like it or not, I reckon we've got to back the club in for this one, because they have had plenty of time to work this one out. And they nailed every other pick, so why not this one? But Thomassims, welcome to the Richmond Footy Club, and we look forward to seeing you develop and grow and playing a role for the Richmond Footy Club in the future.